Every morning you have two choices: to rise with intention or to let the world pull you along like a leaf in the wind. It's easy to hit snooze, to let the day happen to you, but the truth is, every moment of your morning is a chance to shape your destiny. If you don't take control of your thoughts first thing in the morning, you're already letting the world decide your mindset. And here's the thing: most people wake up reacting to everything around them: their phone, the news, the demands of life. But what if you could wake up and choose your mindset instead? What if your first thoughts of the day could empower you, fuel you, and set you on a path to become the person you know you can be? Imagine turning your mornings into a moment of mental fortitude, a space where you ground yourself, practice discipline, and align yourself with the purpose you seek. Your mornings are your training ground for this discipline. And like a Stoic, you have the power to decide how you respond to the world, starting with how you respond to the very first moments of your day. So, if you're ready to take control of your mornings, and by extension, your life, consider subscribing. It's about committing to your own growth, your own mastery of mind, and your own pursuit of a life that is lived intentionally. Together, let's unlock the power of discipline and Stoicism, one morning at a time. Most people wake up and let the world dictate their pace. They grab their phones, check emails, scroll through the noise, and before they know it, the day has taken over. They've already surrendered their power before they've even had a chance to decide who they want to be. This feeling of helplessness is familiar, isn't it? That sense of reacting to the world instead of actively shaping it. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if you could take control, not by waiting for the right circumstances, but by simply deciding to reclaim the morning? Imagine this. What if you used those first moments of the day to anchor yourself in discipline rather than chaos? What if instead of reaching for your phone, you reached for purpose instead? Small, consistent actions, practiced every morning, compound into massive shifts in your life. It's like planting a seed every day, nurturing it with your commitment, and watching it grow into something extraordinary. Just as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Every morning is a new opportunity to shape the quality of your thoughts. You have the power to decide where your mind goes as soon as it wakes up. The foundation for this transformation begins with one simple choice: commit to the first hour of your day. Imagine using that time to build a disciplined morning routine that becomes the cornerstone of everything you do. It's not about perfection or grand gestures. It's about showing up day after day and honoring the discipline that will lead you to a life of strength, clarity, and resilience. You don't need to make drastic changes all at once. You just need to decide that the first moments of the day belong to you. And in doing so, you begin to set the tone for your day, your week, your month, and ultimately, your life. Just think about it. How many times have you let your day take over without even having a say in it? How much of your time has been spent reacting to emails, to social media, to demands that are completely outside your control? But when you wake up with purpose, when you decide to nurture that small seed of discipline first thing, you lay the groundwork for the mindset and habits that will carry you through the rest of the day, no matter what it throws at you. It's easy to get lost in the rush, especially in the first moments of waking. But that's the power of consistency. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to see change. It's the daily habits, the small steps taken consistently that lead to the profound transformations. These small actions may seem insignificant at first, but over time they add up. It's like strengthening a muscle. Every rep, every push, every small act of discipline builds on the last, until you find yourself standing in the kind of strength you never thought possible. In the beginning, it might feel like it's not making a difference, like nothing is changing. But just as Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True wealth comes from knowing your limits, your desires, and consistently honoring them. What's important here isn't the grand goal or the destination. It's your daily commitment to the process. Every day that you choose discipline over distraction, you are making a conscious decision to prioritize the things that matter most. Each morning, when you choose to move toward your goals, even if it's just by a small fraction, you're building momentum that will carry you forward. This isn't about huge victories or dramatic transformations. It's about the quiet consistency that gradually reshapes the way you approach the world. Building this kind of discipline isn't easy, but it's essential. The first hour of the day is yours to command. How you spend that time, how you choose to start your morning, determines the entire flow of your day. The smallest changes, if practiced consistently, will compound into results far beyond what you can imagine, just like a tree that grows steadily and quietly beneath the surface before it bursts into life. The changes that start with a disciplined morning routine are not always immediately visible, but just like that tree, the roots of your new habits are sinking deeper, supporting a future you can be proud of. Every action you take in the morning is a choice to step into the life you want to live. Every decision to resist the impulse to check your phone or let your thoughts spiral into distraction is a victory. It's a small, silent victory, but it's the victory that shapes your life in the long run. So instead of waiting for the perfect day to start, instead of waiting for the circumstances to be just right, remember that consistency is key. It's the steady rhythm of your mornings that sets the stage for everything else. Just as a sculptor shapes a masterpiece with small, precise movements, you too can carve out the life you want through consistent, intentional action. And this starts with taking control of your mornings. By starting small, by committing to these quiet acts of discipline every day, you begin to build the mental fortress that will carry you through anything life throws your way. You won't always be perfect. There will be mornings when it's harder than others. But consistency isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about making the choice to rise and meet your day with the intention to move forward, no matter how small the step. And that's where the real power lies. That's the secret to building a life of purpose. Before you dive into ambition, before the to-do list calls your name and drags you into the chaos of the day, try this. Start your morning with gratitude. It's a simple practice, but its impact can be profound. We often think of gratitude as just an emotional response, something we feel when things are going well, but it's more than that. Gratitude is a tool, a powerful tool that rewires your brain. It's like a mental reset where instead of jumping straight into the noise of the world, you pause and reflect on what's good, what's already working in your life. Imagine waking up and thinking of 3 specific things you're grateful for, not the usual abstract family or health, but real, concrete things that made today feel special. Maybe it's the warmth of your blanket or the feeling of your feet on the ground as you step out of bed. Maybe it's the sunrise outside your window or the quiet stillness that only morning can bring. These small details are easy to overlook, but they're exactly the kind of things that make life meaningful. And the more you focus on them, the more you train your mind to recognize the abundance that already surrounds you. When you begin your day with gratitude, you're not just listing things you're thankful for, you're shifting your brain's focus from what's missing to what's already there. Most of us wake up, and the first thing we do is immediately think about everything we need to do, everything we don't have, or all the things that are wrong. Our minds jump straight to the gaps. But when you make gratitude your starting point, you're dissolving that gap. You're telling your brain that you are already enough, that you have everything you need in this moment. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about rewiring your brain to see the good that's already there. If you wake up and immediately focus on what's missing, you begin the day with a scarcity mindset. But by practicing gratitude, you set the foundation for abundance. You train yourself to see opportunities, to recognize what's working, to appreciate the quiet moments, and to be present in the life you already have. This simple shift can change everything. It doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending that everything is perfect, but it does mean choosing to focus on what is good, what is possible, and what is already in your control. Gratitude isn't a fleeting feeling. It's a practice, and like any practice, it gets stronger the more you do it. It becomes a lens through which you see the world. It's easy to get lost in the race for more success, more money, more recognition, but none of those things will bring lasting peace or fulfillment unless you have a foundation of gratitude. Gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that the present moment, the simple act of being alive, is enough. You don't need to wait until you've achieved everything to feel worthy. You don't need to compare yourself to others to know that your life already has value. Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This isn't just about material wealth. It's about recognizing that the peace and happiness you seek are already within you. It's about learning to find contentment in what you have, not what you lack. And when you begin your day with gratitude, you start your journey with a deep sense of enoughness. Gratitude in this way becomes the foundation of everything that follows. When you approach the day from a place of abundance, you're more likely to respond with calm and clarity, no matter what challenges come your way. It's not that life becomes perfect, but your ability to navigate it shifts. Instead of reacting from a place of fear or frustration, you start responding from a place of strength. The more you practice gratitude, the more resilient you become. You learn to see each setback as a lesson, each obstacle as an opportunity for growth. And with that mindset, you're no longer chasing after happiness or waiting for external circumstances to change. Instead, you realize that happiness is a choice, a perspective that you cultivate from within. So, when you wake up tomorrow, take a moment to pause. Before the world starts demanding your attention, before the noise of the day tries to drown out your peace, take a breath and find 3 things to be grateful for. They don't have to be big or profound, just the small moments, the simple blessings that often go unnoticed. Maybe it's the sound of birds outside your window, the warmth of your coffee, or the comfort of your bed. It could be something as simple as the fact that you woke up at all. These moments are your anchors, your reminders that life is good and that no matter what happens next, you already have everything you need. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you strong. It gives you a sense of rootedness, of peace, and of purpose. And when you start with gratitude, you start from a place of abundance. From there, anything is possible. Words hold incredible power, more than we often realize. The words we speak to others shape our relationships, our actions, and even our future. But just as important, if not more so, are the words we say to ourselves. What is the first thing you tell yourself when you wake up in the morning? Do you reaffirm your strengths, or do you quietly feed your insecurities? Most of us don't realize how much our internal dialogue sets the tone for our day. We wake up with a million thoughts rushing in, and so often those thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity. What we don't realize is that we're speaking life into our day, whether it's life that helps us grow or life that holds us back. Imagine if you started each day by consciously choosing your words, by looking at yourself in the mirror and speaking declarations of confidence. It doesn't have to be grand. Simple statements like, "I am capable," "I am learning to grow stronger every day," can completely shift your mindset. It's about grounding yourself in truth. not just wishful thinking. When you speak these affirmations, something powerful happens. Your brain begins to align with these words. It doesn't matter if the day ahead is filled with challenges or obstacles. What matters is how you choose to meet those challenges. You're not denying the difficulties you might face. Instead, you're recognizing your ability to confront them with strength, resilience, and confidence. The first words you speak to yourself in the morning can either serve as a foundation for your success or plant seeds of self-doubt that will grow throughout the day. You see, when you speak affirmations, you're not only changing how you feel in the moment, but you're actively shaping your reality. Carl Jung once said, "The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown." What Jung is pointing out is that life will always present challenges. The problems don't go away, but how you respond to them, how you approach them, is what determines the quality of your life. Affirmations don't solve your problems, but they prepare you to grow beyond them. They remind you that you're bigger than any obstacle and that you have the strength to rise above whatever the day throws your way. Speaking life into your day also requires awareness of the words you use about yourself. Most of us don't realize how often we speak in terms of limitations. We say things like, "I can't do this," "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never be able to." These thoughts and words don't just live in our minds. They affect our actions and beliefs about what's possible. If you say, "I'm not good enough," enough times, you start to believe it, and that belief shapes your behavior. But what if you started replacing those limiting words with affirmations of capability? What if, instead of thinking, "I can't," you chose to say, "I am capable of learning this," or "I will grow through this challenge"? You might not believe it at first, and that's okay. The key is consistency. The more you speak life into your day, the more your brain begins to trust those words. You're not just saying these words for the sake of being positive. You're laying the groundwork for a new reality. As you consistently affirm your strengths and your ability to face challenges, your brain begins to reshape itself. Neuroscience tells us that when we repeat positive affirmations, the brain's neural pathways are strengthened, creating new patterns of thought and behavior. This is the power of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. So every time you speak life into your day, you're actively rewiring your brain to align with your goals and aspirations. You're not waiting for circumstances to change. You're taking the first step toward changing your mindset. But affirmations alone aren't enough. They must be backed by action. If you declare, "I am confident," but never push yourself to take risks or step out of your comfort zone, those words will lose their power. Affirmations are meant to act as a foundation, but they require action to bring them to life. It's about being intentional with every choice you make throughout the day. It's about showing up for yourself, even when it feels hard, and proving through your actions that you are capable of what you say. When you speak life into your day, you must also follow through with the behaviors that align with that declaration. One of the most important things to remember is that this practice doesn't require perfection. You won't always feel confident, and there will be mornings when self-doubt creeps in. But this is where consistency becomes your ally. Even on the tough days, even when you don't feel like it, affirmations work. Most of the fear and doubt we experience is based on what we imagine could happen, not on what actually happens. By speaking life into your day, you shift the narrative. You remind yourself that you are not defined by your fears and that you have the ability to face whatever comes your way. It's easy to let negative self-talk take over. We've all been there. It's hard to shake those moments of doubt or frustration, but that's why starting your day with affirmations is so powerful. It gives you a chance to take control before your mind goes into autopilot. Even if it's just for a few minutes, taking the time to speak life into your day sets the tone for everything that follows. As you make this practice a habit, you'll find that your self-talk begins to change. The more you speak positively to yourself, the more those affirmations become part of your natural way of thinking. It becomes easier to face challenges with confidence and grace. The beauty of this practice is that it's free, it's simple, and it's available to you every single day. You don't need a special occasion to affirm your strengths. You don't need to wait until you feel confident. You simply need to make the choice to speak life into your day. Look in the mirror and say the words that empower you. Choose the mindset you want to carry throughout the day and watch how it transforms your reality. You don't need to wait for the perfect circumstances. The time to start is now. Speak life into your day and watch as you reshape the world around you. You can't think your way into a new state. You can't meditate or journal your way out of stagnation. Sometimes, the quickest path to change is the simplest one. Move your body. It sounds too easy, right? But here's the truth. Your mind and body are deeply interconnected. When you shift your physical state, you inevitably shift your mental and emotional state as well. It's like hitting a reset button. The moment you get your body moving, something within you starts to click. It's not about pushing yourself to the limit or going for a personal best. It's about breaking through that feeling of inertia, of being stuck. Movement is momentum, and momentum is what transforms potential energy into action. Whether it's as simple as stretching for 5 minutes or stepping outside for a brisk walk, you're sending a message to your body that you're alive, you're capable, and you're ready to face whatever the day brings. Most people wait for motivation to come before they take action. But here's the problem. Motivation doesn't show up until you start moving. You can sit there thinking about what you need to do, trying to push yourself mentally into a new state, but nothing happens until you take that first step. When you move, the rest of your body and mind follow. It's a domino effect. Each small motion signals to your nervous system that it's time to wake up, to engage, to show up. You're not waiting for the perfect moment, for the right motivation. You're creating the momentum yourself, and that momentum builds. It builds into energy, focus, and readiness for whatever comes next. You have to act. The change doesn't start in your mind. It starts in your body. You get moving first, and everything else follows. Moving your body in the morning is a powerful way to lay the foundation for your day. It's not about doing it perfectly or achieving a specific result. It's about the simple act of moving. When you take that first step, that first stretch, that first deep breath as you get moving, you send a message to your brain that says, "I'm in control." It's a simple act, but it makes a huge difference. The beauty of morning movement is that it doesn't require you to be extraordinary. It doesn't need to be intense. You don't have to push yourself to exhaustion. What matters is consistency. It could be something as easy as rolling your shoulders, walking around the block, or dancing to a favorite song in your living room. It's not about performance, it's about waking up your body and waking up your potential. When you move, you start to feel the shift. The rush of endorphins kicks in, the dopamine starts flowing, and suddenly you feel awake, energized, and ready. It's not just a physical change, it's an emotional one. The energy you create in the morning carries with you throughout the day. You begin to notice that you're more alert, more focused, and more in control. The anxiety that might have weighed you down earlier starts to fade. The physical act of moving your body pushes the mental fog away. And as you step into your day, you're already one step ahead, already in motion, already primed for success. In fact, the more you move in the morning, the more you train your brain to expect success. That burst of energy doesn't just come from the physical act of moving. It comes from the signals you're sending to yourself. You're telling yourself that you're ready. You're ready to tackle the day with strength and resilience. You're telling yourself that you can handle whatever comes next. Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." In other words, your actions define you more than your intentions. Moving your body is the physical manifestation of your intention to rise, to improve, and to engage with life. Each morning, when you choose to move, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you are active, and that you are in control. You prove it to yourself with every step, stretch, and breath. It's easy to overlook this simple fact. Your body is the gateway to your mind. You might think that your thoughts are the starting point for everything, but the truth is, your body holds the key. When you start your day with movement, you awaken both your physical and mental capacity. You're not just getting your blood flowing, you're getting your thoughts flowing too. The mental fog that often comes with waking up doesn't stand a chance when your body is already moving. You break through that inertia, that resistance, and step into the day with a sense of purpose and energy. And let's be clear, moving your body in the morning isn't about punishing yourself for past mistakes or trying to earn your worth. It's about honoring your body for what it is, alive, capable, and full of potential. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. The act of moving is a reminder that you're not just sitting on the sidelines of your own life. You're an active participant, fully engaged in shaping your day, your week, and your future. You don't need a perfect body or perfect circumstances to begin. You just need to take that first step. In the end, movement is more than just a physical action. It's a mental and emotional practice that sets the tone for everything that follows. When you move in the morning, you create energy. You create focus. You create a mindset that's ready to take on whatever the day throws your way. It's a simple, powerful act that shifts your state in a way that thinking alone can't. You don't have to wait for motivation or the perfect conditions. You can create it right now with every step you take, and once you do, you'll find that the rest of your day falls into place with greater ease. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't wait for motivation to strike. Move. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much it shifts your mindset and your entire day. The world is full of noise. Everywhere you look, there are distractions, opinions, demands, irrelevant chatter. It's easy to let it all seep in, to let the constant stream of information control your thoughts and shape your day. But before you let any of that noise into your mind, there's a moment, a precious moment, when you have a choice. A choice to feed your mind with something purposeful. It's in these first few minutes of the day that you have the power to decide what kind of energy you'll let in. You can choose to start your day by reading a passage from a book that inspires you, by listening to a podcast that challenges your thinking, or by journaling your thoughts and reflecting on your goals. The key is that you're deliberately choosing what to let into your mind. You're not allowing the world to dictate your thoughts. Instead, you're taking ownership of your mental landscape. When you start your day this way, you ground yourself in wisdom, clarity, and purpose. You create a mental environment that serves your growth, not your distractions. The world will always throw noise at you. Emails, social media, news, and endless demands. But when you start your day with intention, you create a mental shield. You control your mind before the noise has a chance to hijack it. As Carl Jung wisely said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. To become who you truly are, you must first be intentional about what shapes your mind, your beliefs, and your actions. If you don't feed your mind with purpose, The noise will overwhelm you, and you'll find yourself drifting through the day without direction. But when you fill your mind with intention and clarity, you strengthen your sense of purpose and stay rooted in what truly matters. Think of your mind as a garden. What you plant in the morning will grow throughout the day. If you start your day by planting seeds of inspiration and wisdom, those seeds will sprout into positive thoughts, productive actions, and a sense of direction. But if you start by letting the noise in, if you let the chaos of the outside world dictate your thoughts, you're planting seeds of anxiety, distraction, and confusion. Your garden becomes overrun with weeds, and you find yourself struggling to focus, to be productive, and to stay on track. It's the small choices made in the quiet moments of the morning that determine what kind of garden your mind will grow. By choosing to feed your mind with purpose, you're choosing to nurture the growth of ideas, actions, and goals that align with who you truly want to be. This practice doesn't need to be complicated. It could be something as simple as reading a page from a book that inspires you, listening to a motivational podcast on your walk, or taking 10 minutes to reflect on your goals in your journal. The point is that you're choosing something that feeds your mind, not something that simply fills it with noise. When you give yourself that time in the morning, you set the tone for everything that follows. You create a foundation of clarity and focus that will carry you through the day, no matter what distractions or challenges come your way. It's like sharpening a tool before you use it. If you don't take the time to sharpen your mind, you'll struggle to get through the day with the precision and effectiveness you need. But when you start your day with purpose, you give yourself the mental clarity and focus that allow you to navigate your tasks with confidence. The world is loud. It's filled with constant distractions, opinions, and demands. But your mind doesn't have to be a reflection of that noise. You have the power to choose what you let in. Every morning is a new opportunity to take control of your mental environment. Whether it's reading a chapter from a book that challenges your thinking or taking a few minutes to journal your thoughts, you have the ability to feed your mind with the things that matter. And as you do this consistently, you'll find that the noise of the world doesn't have the same power over you. You begin to filter out the distractions and focus on what truly matters. This practice isn't about shutting out the world entirely. It's about setting the tone for your day. It's about grounding yourself in what is meaningful to you before you let the world pull you in different directions. It's about strengthening your mental resilience so that when the noise does come, you're better equipped to handle it. In the rush of everyday life, it's easy to forget that you have control over your thoughts. But when you start your day by feeding your mind with purpose, you remind yourself that you are the one who gets to decide what's important. You reclaim your power. By feeding your mind with purpose, you're also creating a sense of balance. The world will always try to take more from you, your time, your attention, your energy. But when you feed your mind with intention, you're putting something back into yourself. You're filling your mental well with the resources you need to stay strong, focused, and resilient. Just as you wouldn't expect a plant to grow without the right nutrients, you can't expect to perform at your best if you're not feeding your mind with the right input. You wouldn't expect a garden to thrive on weeds and distractions. Your mind works the same way. And this practice doesn't need to be a long or complicated ritual. It could be as simple as taking 5 minutes to read something that inspires you or listening to a podcast that shifts your perspective. The key is consistency. The more you practice feeding your mind with purpose, the easier it becomes to maintain clarity throughout the day. Soon, you'll notice a shift. Your thoughts will be sharper, your actions more intentional, and your mind more at peace. You'll be better able to handle whatever the world throws your way because you've already fortified your mind with wisdom, clarity, and purpose before the noise had a chance to take hold. So every morning, take a moment to feed your mind with something purposeful. Choose what you input into your mind with care and make it a priority. You can start small, but the impact of this practice will ripple throughout your day, your week, and your life. The more you feed your mind with purpose, the stronger, clearer, and more resilient you'll become. This is your garden. What you plant today will shape your tomorrow. Choose wisely. Visualization isn't just about imagining your goals or dreaming of a successful future. It's about something much deeper, imagining the person you need to become in order to achieve those goals. We often get lost in fantasizing about the outcome, about what success looks like, about the rewards we'll reap once we've reached the finish line. But true transformation happens not in the outcome, but in the process of becoming the person who already has that success. It's not enough to picture yourself winning. You must picture yourself acting, thinking, and making decisions like someone who has already reached that point. Imagine yourself making wise choices, handling obstacles with confidence, and overcoming challenges with grace. It's in these moments, in these mental rehearsals, that you begin to shape your future self. The act of visualization isn't just a fantasy, it's a powerful tool for uncovering and embodying your true self. It's not about wishing for success or hoping that things will change. It's about mentally preparing yourself to be the person capable of achieving those things. The brain doesn't distinguish between imagined experiences and real experiences. When you visualize yourself in action, your brain activates the same neural pathways that it would if you were actually living those moments. In essence, you're rehearsing your success before it happens. It's not about magical thinking, it's about setting the mental stage for real-world success. The power of visualization lies in its ability to rewire your brain. Every time you picture yourself handling a tough situation with composure, making a decision with clarity, or working through difficulties with resilience, your brain starts to create those neural connections. Over time, these mental rehearsals turn into automatic behaviors. The more you visualize these actions, the more your brain learns to bring them to life. This isn't a one-time practice. It's a daily habit that, over time, helps you become the person who embodies the traits you admire and aspire to. You stop waiting for the future to arrive, and instead, you start stepping into it. The more you visualize, the more you become that person in real life, not through some sudden shift, but through small, consistent actions that align with your mental rehearsal. What you're doing here is not simply imagining the success you want. You're creating the blueprint for it. Just like an athlete who practices their moves before stepping onto the field, or a musician who practices their scales before performing, you're preparing yourself for success long before it happens. The brain doesn't just prepare for success by thinking about the end goal. It prepares by building the neural pathways that lead to the necessary actions, habits, and decisions. When you picture yourself acting with discipline, with focus, or with patience, you're not just imagining a future scenario. You're actively creating the mental conditions that will make those traits automatic when the moment comes. Visualization is a tool for becoming your future self right now. It's easy to think of success as something that exists in the future, something you'll reach when the circumstances are right, when the timing aligns. But visualization shows you that the path to success is already within you. You just need to embody it. Every time you visualize, you're stepping into the role of the person who is already successful. You're preparing your mind and body to make the decisions, take the actions, and approach the world in the way that person would. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent mental practice, you'll notice subtle changes in your behavior. You'll find yourself handling challenges with more confidence, making decisions with greater clarity, and responding to setbacks with resilience. It's as if your mind has already set the course and your actions begin to follow. The beauty of visualization is that it gives you the chance to practice without any external pressure. You don't need a real-life scenario to begin embodying the traits of your future self. You can do this every morning, in the quiet of your own mind. Take a few minutes to close your eyes and picture yourself succeeding. See yourself in the situations you'll face, making decisions, overcoming obstacles, and handling stress. Notice how it feels to approach each moment with calm and confidence. These mental images aren't just fleeting thoughts. They are powerful training for your subconscious mind. Your brain absorbs them as real experiences, and over time, it starts to act accordingly. This isn't to say that visualization alone will get you to where you want to go. It's not a magic bullet or a shortcut, but it's a critical piece of the puzzle. Visualization primes your mind, helping you become the person who can meet the challenges ahead. It's the mental foundation on which your actions will be built. When you visualize success, you're not just picturing the end result. You're picturing yourself making the decisions, navigating the challenges, and showing up in ways that will lead you there. It's like planting seeds in the soil of your mind, and with each mental rehearsal, those seeds begin to sprout into real-world behaviors. As you move through life, you'll begin to notice how your thoughts and actions align more with the person you've been visualizing. This is the true power of the practice. It aligns your inner world with your outer reality. And soon enough, your brain will begin to operate on autopilot, guiding you toward the outcomes you've envisioned. This process isn't about forcing yourself to be someone you're not. It's about uncovering the person you've always been capable of becoming. Visualization is a tool for personal growth. It isn't just about imagining success. It's about preparing to be the kind of person who can make that success a reality. The more you visualize, the more you act, and the more you become. Your future self isn't some distant figure waiting to emerge. That person exists inside of you right now. All it takes is the mental preparation to bring them to life. Visualizing who you want to become today sets the foundation for who you will be tomorrow. It's time to start seeing yourself as the person you want to become. Start rehearsing your success and watch it unfold before you. In today's world, stillness is becoming a rare commodity. Everywhere you look, there's noise, external and internal. The constant buzz of social media, the never-ending demands of work, the pressure to keep moving, to keep achieving. It's easy to get swept up in it all, to let the chaos take over. But in the midst of all this noise, there's a power that's often overlooked: silence. It's in those moments of quiet that you find your true center. By carving out just a few minutes each morning to sit in silence, you give yourself the gift of presence. It's not about meditating just for the sake of meditation. It's not about sitting still because you're told to. It's about creating a space for your inner voice to emerge, a space where your thoughts, your wisdom, and your truth can finally be heard. In a world that's always shouting, it's the silence that brings clarity. When you take the time to be still, you allow yourself to step outside of the chaos, even if it's just for a few moments. Those moments of silence become a sanctuary, a place where you can reconnect with who you truly are. Your mind is constantly bombarded with outside influences, opinions, expectations, judgments, but in the stillness, you can hear your own voice above the noise. You can hear the subtle whispers of your own thoughts and wisdom. This practice isn't about escaping from the world. It's about grounding yourself so that you can better face the world. As the philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." So much of our stress and anxiety comes from the noise in our minds, from the worries and distractions that pull us in a million directions. But when we sit in silence, we give ourselves the opportunity to quiet those distractions and reconnect with what's real and true. Even if you only sit in silence for 5 minutes, the impact on your mind can be profound. It's not about the length of time, it's about the intention behind it. Those 5 minutes allow you to recalibrate, to reset your mental state before the world demands anything of you. It's a way of reclaiming control over your thoughts and emotions. In that moment of stillness, you create the space to breathe, to reflect, and to prepare yourself for what lies ahead. You may not realize it, but when you start your day with silence, you set a foundation of clarity and calm. You start the day with your mind centered rather than scattered. This simple practice can help you approach your day with more focus, more peace, and more resilience. The power of silence isn't just about taking a break from the noise. It's about giving yourself permission to reconnect with your core, with your true self. In the quiet, you allow your inner wisdom to surface. You allow your thoughts to be heard without the constant pressure to react or respond. In a world that's always pushing, always demanding, silence becomes a way to pause and reflect. It's a chance to find clarity in the midst of confusion, to make sense of the noise that often drowns out our true intentions. Without this quiet time, we risk losing touch with ourselves, getting lost in the hustle, and forgetting what truly matters. We live in a world that celebrates constant activity, constant doing. But the reality is that doing without being still first often leads to burnout and overwhelm. The constant rush to achieve, to move, to act can leave us feeling drained and disconnected from our own purpose. Silence, however, allows us to step back and evaluate. It helps us remember who we are and what we want, beyond the noise and distractions of everyday life. When we make space for silence, we give ourselves the opportunity to reconnect with our values, our goals, and our intentions. But here's the thing. It's easy to think that silence will feel uncomfortable or that it's a waste of time. Our minds are so used to being in constant motion, always processing information, always solving problems. But true peace comes from the ability to be still, to simply be. When you make space for silence in your morning routine, you're not being lazy or unproductive. You're giving your mind the rest it needs to function at its best. Just like physical rest allows your body to recover and grow stronger, mental rest in the form of silence allows your mind to recover and sharpen itself. In those moments of stillness, you may start to notice things you haven't before. Your thoughts become clearer, your mind sharper, and you gain a deeper understanding of your true self. You might find that you're more in tune with your emotions, more aware of your goals, and more present in your daily interactions. It's in this silence that you begin to hear the answers to the questions that have been floating around in your mind. Instead of running from the discomfort of stillness, you start to embrace it, knowing that in this space you find clarity. This practice of silence doesn't have to be long or complicated. It could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, sitting quietly for a few minutes, or even going for a walk in nature without any distractions. The goal isn't to force yourself into a state of complete mental blankness. It's to give yourself permission to pause and let your thoughts settle. To stop chasing the next task and instead focus on simply being present. The benefits of this practice will extend far beyond the 5 minutes you spend in silence. As you make this a regular part of your routine, you'll find that the clarity and calmness it brings will spill over into every other part of your life. In a world that constantly pulls at us, silence becomes an act of rebellion, a way to reclaim your peace and your power. It's the one space where you get to decide what enters your mind and what stays out. It's where you reconnect with yourself, where you gather the strength to face the challenges ahead. As the philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. In the stillness, you confront what matters, and you realize that the answers you seek are already within you. So tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world takes over, make space for silence. Sit with yourself for just a few minutes and see what clarity unfolds. The world may be loud, but in that quiet moment, you'll find everything you need to face the day with strength and purpose. Remember, the world will always be loud, but in the silence, you'll find your strength. It's in those quiet moments that you reconnect with your true self, and it's from that place of stillness that you'll rise to meet the world with clarity and purpose. So, make space for silence every day. It's where your real power lies. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to check out one of the videos on the screen and continue your journey toward personal growth. Thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal, where we embrace the wisdom of stillness and the power of self-discovery.